Hey, where the fuck is Mario Judah? Drew Dober versus Michael Johnson is going to be happening this weekend at UFC 326. And as funny as it is to say, haha, Drew Dober by racism or whatever, I don't think Drew Dober is the same guy he was a few years ago. He's wearing the damage a lot more. He's starting to get rocked a lot more. He's taken a lot of damage. And even though he is the KO king at lightweight, and there is a possibility that he's set to run a combination and puts Michael Johnson out, I think Michael Johnson is going to cleave his head off. I think Michael Johnson is faster, he's longer, and hits harder. And all of this doesn't bode well for an aging Drew Dober. Drew Dober used to never really wear the damage of a crazy fight, and now every fight, he's getting busted up. Against Kyle Prepolek, he genuinely got rocked. Prepolek is slow. Prepolek is bad. Michael Johnson's still pretty damn good. Michael Johnson can still land a fucking heater of a punch. I think that when Michael Johnson lands that punch, I don't think Dober's getting back up. I think this is going to be Michael Johnson dictating the boxing at range, and Drew Dober responding with really hard kicks to the calf. But eventually they're going to get too close, they're going to be trading, and while Dober is trying to get out of an exchange, Johnson's going to either step through with a left hook, or as Dober comes in, eat a massive overhand right, and he's going to stop moving. Michael Johnson has some of the most disgusting power in the history of the 155-pound division. And he seems to be able to land it on a lot of people, especially in the striking. And when a guy like Dustin Poirier, who has much better defense than Drew Dober, is getting caught, I think it's over. Drew Dober's defense relies on his extreme athleticism and his toughness, his chin. If you look at it, up until he got KO'd by, I want to say, Matt Frivola, he had the most strikes absorbed at lightweight history before being knocked down, at like 800 something significant strikes to the head before being knocked down. And this is a guy who's closer to 40 than he is to 30. He's not the same guy he was in 2020. He's not the same guy he was in 2021 and 2022. This is an aging veteran of the sport who's had to use his toughness, who's had to use his durability to get through fights. Even in his last fight against Kyle Prepolek, even though he was miles better technically than Kyle Prepolek, he had to use that toughness, he had to use that grit to get through that fight, because Kyle Prepolek put a beating on him. Even though Prepolek didn't land very many strikes at all, Dober was still worse for wear. Dober still was bloodied up. His calf was destroyed. He had cuts, very bad bruising, was bleeding out of his nose and mouth. And I think Kyle Prepolek is slow. He probably hits like a truck, but he's slow. Michael Johnson's fast and he hits like a truck. And I think Johnson's going to find that shot really, really, really early. And within the first 2 rounds, he's going to find that shot and he's going to KO him. Like, let's not pretend that Drew Dober didn't get stopped badly against Manuel Torres a year ago. That was a year ago when Manuel Torres genuinely stopped Drew Dober in round 1. I think Johnson can find a similar shot, and he has similar power. I think this is going to be a very, very sad night for Dober fans, watching Drew Dober get hit with some nasty punches, and he's probably going to go face down and not get back up. He might recover and wobble around while arguing with the ref, but I think the most likely scenario is that Michael Johnson finds that shot sooner rather than later. Now, do I believe that Drew Dober could win this fight? Absolutely. He's the KO king at lightweight for a reason. His leg kicks, the angles he takes when he enters, his ability to land that overhand right, his body work, and his ability to punch through someone's defense will always keep him in a fight. But Michael Johnson goes out there to decapitate you. And he's turning over a new leaf. He hasn't been on a 3-fight win streak in a decade. And I think that win streak's going to go to 4. Maybe even 5. We might see a ranked Michael Johnson in 2026. And with that being said, I will catch you guys later. And thank you so much for watching all the way through. Don't forget to like and subscribe.